The time is 6:38 a.m. Good morning. The news headline. Will the new prophecies of Prophet Odumeje make ESN members of Ipob surrender arms to the federal government? Few hours ago, Prophet Odumeje Ndaboski, known as Ndaboski, went viral on social media platforms after he made new prophecies about the Igbos in Nigeria and their leaders. While prophesying, Prophet Odumeje talked about those who are fighting for Nigeria's secession. He stylishly explained how the indigenous people of Biafra, known as Ipob, are trying to ensure that Nigeria gets divided through the aid of some Eastern Security Network, known as ESN members. Having watched the videos where Prophet Odumeje had actually talked about these things, he said that where these prophecies were made, the question now is, will the new prophecies of Prophet Odumeje make the Eastern Security members of Ipob surrender arms to the federal government? The answer to the above question is a bit unanswerable because no one is certain if all what the popular Prophet Odumeje said while prophesying will be adhered to. Prophet Odumeje said that the ESN members should drop their arms and embrace unity because if they don't, he foresees doom for them. His exact words read, "I foresee hunger, doom, pain, agony for those who want Nigeria to secede." The well-known prophet also said that if those fighting against the unity of Nigeria don't put a halt to it, they would end up being homeless, displaced, marginalized, and victimized. According to him, these are what God showed him lately. Prophet Odumeje Ndaboski said when there is progress in the nation, that every individual will enjoy it. And this goes in line with what one Prophet Ayodele had once said. Prophet Ayodele's prophecy on Nigeria happened again. The news info. The Nigerian economic situation is getting worse as the day goes by. The dollar rate is on the high side and prices of essential commodities have skyrocketed in recent times. In the history of Nigeria, it has never been this bad economically. The naira has lost value against almost every notable currency in the world, which is of course unhealthy for our purchasing power. With the situation of things economically, one would agree that except there is a divine intervention, the economy is on the verge of collapse and it is already shutting down. Subsequently, the signs are all written over with the unceasing increase in dollar rates, prices of essential commodities, and many others. Before things got worse, one of the notable voices that called the attention of President Muhammadu Buhari was Primate Elijah Ayodele, the leader of Inri Evangelical Spiritual Church. 5 months ago, Primate Ayodele released a statement that the Nigerian economy will shut down in 32 weeks. From May, 32 weeks would be around October, which is just 1 month to go. He didn't just say this. He made this statement to warn President Muhammadu Buhari and also to advise him on what to do in order to prevent the economy from shutting down. Because the last thing a president wants to experience is his economy shutting down. Primate Ayodele gave some spiritual advice to the president and told him to come up with a strong economic team in order to prevent this. He also talked about bringing back subsidy instead of removing it completely, but were these advices followed? No. He also mentioned that President Muhammadu Buhari will request for a brutal loan which will cause more havoc to the economy. We could see this happening just today when Buhari wrote to the National Assembly for the approval to borrow another $4 billion, 710 million euros, which will make the country's debt to be 2.2 trillion naira. These were the words of Primate Ayodele. If the government of Nigeria doesn't do the right thing about the economy, Nigeria's economy may shut down in the next 32 weeks. This will affect the Central Bank of Nigeria, NNPC, and revenues. Government must come out with a very strong economic team in order to curb another economic pandemic that will even affect banks government salaries of the workers and pensioners. Nigeria will be on a brutal loan. There will be so much loan, they must review subsidy, and bringing back subsidy will help Nigerians' economy to grow than removing the subsidy completely. We have just 1 month before 32 weeks elapse, and of a truth, except the president listen to instructions, the economy may collapse as Primate Ayodele warned. And the analysis is as follows. Just like we know that Primate Ayodele has been a very prominent pastor known to be a forecaster of what would happen if, as a spiritual person, and he has actually been advising the Buhari-led administration on how to go about this to avoid some consequences that may set on after disobeying God's word through him, as in prophesying. He actually prophesied that the President Muhammadu Buhari was actually going to borrow some money, and that money would actually make Nigeria to experience economy shutdown if care is not taken. And these advices were actually not followed due to reasons best known to them, because we all know that of recent, President Muhammadu Buhari actually passed a bill to the House of Assembly in the just cause to borrow some funds, about 4 billion naira and another 710 million euros were written to the Senate for approval that President Muhammadu Buhari wants to borrow again, which is actually accumulating the country's debt to about 2.2 trillion naira. And you see that this actually brought about a whole lot of criticism here and there. Even Reno Mokiri, one-time spokesman for President Goodluck Jonathan, actually also said that what exactly was wrong with President Muhammadu Buhari, because the economy as at his own time is actually just going into a sorry case, and President Muhammadu Buhari actually insisted that the need to borrow this loan was to further boost the economy and to create more jobs, to avoid unemployment and the likes. But yet, it is actually not justifying this, because then the Primate Ayodele actually said that this brutal loan would actually affect the economy to grow, and he was actually advising that they should actually review the subsidy and bring back subsidy so that it will help Nigeria's economy to grow. We know that sometimes you go to Primate Ayodele had actually warned that he foresee Taliban taking over some Nigerian states. The primate explained that the sect is planning to take over some states in Nigeria, and Primate Ayodele warned the federal government to immediately work on the borders and security system against what is coming, as it foresees the group taking over some states in Nigeria. He said he foresee a state of emergency, and he said that I'm seeing a sect like Taliban coming up Africa. They are coming in a big form to attack African countries like Burundi, Mali, Central African Republic, Benin Republic, Chad, Niger Republic, and Nigeria. He said this will be very serious, and they are already gathering together. They want to take over some states in Nigeria too, namely Borno, Yobe, Adamawa, Nasarawa, Bauchi, Kaduna, Plateau, parts of Benue, and Kogi. He said this is a warning to the government, and they should work on it immediately, that he's seeing them planning already and strategizing amongst others. And he said that he had actually warned that Boko Haram, ISWAP will go, but another terrorist group is coming, and it's about to happen, except the government takes a deliberate action against this. And in this fight against terrorism, let them also seek the face of God for directions. Good morning, thanks for listening.